Welcome to the Stack Supplement Podcast, the premier source for supplement news and reviews.
We are back with another episode of the Stack Supplement Podcast, where we run down all of the top stories and exciting announcements shared on the site from the past 7 days. Last week, as I mentioned in our last week's episode, we announced the return of the Stacked Pro Supplement Expo, kicking off this year in June 14th. It'll be running the entire week. We announced the return of the show, I think it was on Tuesday or Wednesday, and it's pretty jam-packed. We've got a mountain of brands already on board, so it's definitely going to be an exciting event. Be sure to tune in that week and keep your eyes on the website as per usual. We'll be sharing updates from the event, brands that will be attending. We have a lot of brands returning from last year. Well, with plenty of new ones, all with great announcements, launches, reveals, teasers, sales, deals, giveaways, exclusive items, all for the event. So it will be another one not to miss. For those that are unfamiliar with it, the Stack Pro Expo is our exclusive, online exclusive event that kind of tries to bring you everything you get from a regular physical supplement expo on your device, phone, tablet, laptop, whatever, anywhere in the world. So again, that'll be going down June 14th, and all you have to do to visit is when it goes live on June 14th or midnight June 13th is go to the website stackedexpo.com, or if you go to just to Stacked, we'll have links all over the place and sharing stories all throughout the week about developments and announcements from the show. But moving on from there, we're going to kick off this week's summary episode, covering all of the stories from last week with Bear Bells. This is, of course, the maker of our number one rated protein bar, and the Bear Bells protein bar. I just held that spot since we tried it many years ago. So the news this week is that last year, you may remember, Bear Bells came out with a special edition flavor for Christmas, which is something it's done many times in the past. Last year's flavor was called Holiday Puffs, and we did a bit of a mini review on it where, if you caught it, we basically just said that it was easily one of the best flavors we had from Bear Bells in a very, very long time. I think the last one we had that was as good as that was the mint dark chocolate. It was just too good. It was just too good. It just seemed to be possibly Bear Bells' softest, smoothest flavor to date, and it had this very nice creamy, milky kind of sweetness to it, all with that signature Bear Bells chocolate on top. And again, great flavor, one of our favorites. And we were kind of disappointed it was limited edition, but figured in the past Bear Bells has brought back some of those limited edition Christmas flavors and made them permanent. And we were kind of, based on how good this one was, we expected that to happen. And the news this past week is that, yes, Bear Bells has brought it back. It has brought back Holiday Puffs. It hasn't changed the name, as we've seen it do with some of those previous Christmas flavors it's brought back. It is still called Holiday Puffs. Same kind of flavor with the chocolate caramel, smooth consistency. The only difference is on the packaging of the Holiday Puffs protein bar. It's no longer got this intergalactic galaxy theme. It's now just more of a flat purple with kind of what looks to be like a moon or a sun kind of in the back left. But it's same colors and everything, just the background designs changed a bit. And so from what I know, or what Bear Bells has said, is it said the flavor's returning. It hasn't said that it's returning for a limited time, but also hasn't said that it's returning permanently. Previously, brand will say something like your favorite limited edition or whatever is coming back and it's here to stay. They didn't say that this time. They just said it's coming back. So I don't know. It could go either way. It could be back for a limited time. We'll wait and see. But fingers crossed, it's back for good. But yeah. You can grab it again. I believe it's available in the brand's home country of Sweden. I'm not sure if it's going to expand into any other countries, but definitely grab that one if you missed out the first time around. The next story we have is from the nut butter brand, Fokker Nuts, which is known for its various flavors of clean and tasty nut butter. And this past week it announced something very, very different from its usual product, and that is a Flock Nuts protein bar. The brand basically put out a preview or a draft of a protein bar, saying that it is going to be coming out with a protein bar sometime this year. And it did say that the picture it shared is just a draft. So it based on that, the details we get from it may change, may not, may stay the same, who knows. But basically, it's going to be a protein bar with 13 grams of protein. I'm going to assume that it's a nut butter protein bar, mostly because, again, Flock Nuts is a peanut butter, almond butter, cashew butter brand. So I have to imagine it's going to be following that kind of theme, keeping it going for the bar. And the other detail we have is on top of that 13 grams of protein is that it's going to be coming in a white chocolate peanut butter flavor. Now, I think those details might probably stay true. They're quite specific and quite fitting. So don't be surprised if they stay the same. I'm guessing that when they said that this is draft, is that the picture and the preview that they shared of the protein bar, which you can see on our site, that's the part that might change. But either way, Flock Nuts coming out with a protein bar later this year. I'm a big fan of their nut butters. They're all damn tasty. So I have to imagine the protein bar is going to continue that theme and also taste pretty damn good. While we're on the topic of protein bars, we'll move now to a story we got last week from Rule 1 Proteins, who has been on a bit of a streak as of late, expanding its Performance Pantry series, which is sort of a family of functional foods. I believe it started out with like was it a pancake? Yeah, like a pancake mix called whey cakes. And then we got the protein omelette, protein mousse, protein oatmeal, and now they've announced the first ever, I don't know if this is part of the Performance Pantry series, it's just sort of a functional product, so I guess it leads on from that series, but Rule 1 revealed and released a protein bar called Bar 1, BAR1, so kind of like the, continues that R1 theme as you will have seen in some of its protein powders. And so it's a Rice Krispies style treat, Rice Krispies treat style bar. Got a nice crispy, crunchy Rice Krispie style build to it. Has a nice solid flavor across the base with squiggles on top. Similar to a few other bars like that, the BSN Synthesis 6 bars, kind of along the same lines. The original O Snap bar, obviously from Snap Nutrition. These bars tend to be quite soft and crispy and crunchy at the same time, and always just manage to deliver great sweetness and flavor. I think it's got to be something to do with that consistency, whereas they don't have that doughy body that you get with a lot of other protein bars. But the nutrition profile on this one is pretty solid. You get the usual 20 grams of protein per bar with 9 grams of fat, 25 grams of carbohydrates with 2 grams of that sugar, and 15 fiber, and then 220 calories. So it's around your typical protein bar with that 20 grams of protein and 200 to 220 calories. The brand has debuted the product in 2 flavors. There is peanut butter and then one for the more chocolate fans out there with fudge brownie. I can grab the product now from the brand's website at $2.99 a piece, or they have boxes of the usual 12 for $31.99. Next up, we go to Metabolic Nutrition, who's basically come out and announced it's dropping later this year, a new series of supplements that I believe is pronounced as the MetaHuman series, although it's spelled META, and then humans kind of abbreviated as HMN. And so what that series is intended to be is that it's going to be a more premium line of supplements. We don't really know what categories it's going to cover, just that it's going to be a more premium line. I'm assuming bigger dosages, more variety of ingredients, maybe some more complex categories. But to get things started, Metabolic Nutrition has previewed one of these, the first supplement in that series, and it's going to be a protein powder called IsoFly. From what I know, it will be like a whey isolate based supplement, but that's kind of all we know. But but I am guessing that because it's entering into protein powder, the MetaHuman series is likely going to be doing what I was guessing, basically bringing more comprehensive, advanced formulas to mainstream categories like pre-workout and weight loss and maybe amino and stuff like that. But again, for now, ISOFly, the protein powder, is all we have to go off. The other cool part about this is if you go to our website and just type in ISOFly or metabolic, you'll be able to see a preview of this product, and the line itself is going to have a distinctively different look compared to regular metabolic nutrition supplements, and it looks pretty damn cool, especially with the ISOFly theme going. But for now, that's the only kind of product we have to go off. It is just like a draft shot. I don't think it's in full production just yet. But again, they'll be rolling and building this out throughout the year, and ISOFly looks to be the one that'll be kicking it all off for metabolic nutrition. Next, we move to Inspired Nutraceuticals, who also has something new for the protein powder market. And it's not necessarily entirely new for fans of the brand. So what Inspired has come out and announced is that it's revamping the protein powder it launched in 2019, which is one of the products that really pushed it to win our brand of the year for that year. And it's kind of a unique approach. Instead of being just a whey protein powder, Inspired's Protein Plus brings together both whey protein and collagen to kind of provide benefits on both sides and protein. So what Inspired has announced is that it's revamping the look and the entire menu. So you can go on the site and you can check it out. But they've completely changed the look of the product, removing that kind of clean, essential style feeling to it, and just adding a full-blown, colorful, flavor-themed design to each of the flavors of the product that are on the way. The flavors, as I mentioned, are also completely new. It's going to be relaunching in 4 flavors. There'll be banana milkshake, chocolate marshmallow, red velvet cupcake, and cookie dough. And all those will be replacing the original Protein Plus flavors that were on its menu. But for those that enjoy the formula and the benefits, the ingredients and the dosages are staying exactly the same. The macros will remain the same, and Inspired is keeping those extra ingredients that make it a little bit extra. If you can remember, they also throw in, DE111 probiotics and prohydrolase enzymes to help with absorption and digestion, so to, again, make it a more premium protein powder. So those will still be in there at the original amounts, as well as the whey and collagen, which together provide 25 grams of protein per serving, 20 from whey and 5 from collagen. So yeah, it's pretty much the look that's being revamped, very similar to the rest of the brand's lineup, which, if you've been following, is something that Inspired has been announcing and revealing since the start of the year. So this is just sort of another extension of that reorganization and rebranding, or entire rebranding of Inspired. For our next story, we shoot to G Fuel, who I thought they did something really cool this week. Is if you've been following G Fuel, you know these guys are one of the best when it comes to collaborations and creativity. The brands, companies, and individuals they partner with for their flavor collaborations are very different to anywhere else kind of in the supplement industry. Most notably, they've partnered with specific games. Most recently, they did one with Mortal Kombat. They've done a Sonic. They've done a Crash Bandicoot. And one of the earlier ones they did was they partnered with the guys at Doom Eternal, the video game Doom Eternal, from Bethesda Softworks. And they came out with a flavor called Spicy Demonade. I think that one was last year, if I'm not mistaken. And you may remember they also did, I think it was a bigger tub as well, that launched alongside their regular size tub, which had more caffeine than the regular formula for G Fuel at 300 milligrams. So it was quite a cool, unique, creative release. And so the reason the brand is back in the news this past week is that it has teamed up with Doom Eternal again, and has brought back its Spicy Demonade flavor. with a new look label, still Doom Eternal themed, featuring a sweet Doom Eternal label. But alongside the return of that flavor, G Fuel has introduced a second Doom Eternal themed collaboration flavor with Sour Demonade. So both have, so that the first one's returned and the other one is entirely new, and it is a sour lemon candy flavor. So both of those, I believe, will be available. They're available for pre-order now, but they won't be shipping for quite some time, with the brand expecting them to begin rolling out to those who pre-order in the third week of May, which is about 2 months away. So there is a long wait if you decide to pick up on that on the pre-order. We've got 2 stories left just to cover the roundup, and the next one we're going to go to is from Performix. Now, Performix has been on the market for a while, most notably known for its SST weight loss supplements. It's had several iterations, several different versions, several spin-offs, hit the market over the years. There've been sequels. There was SST V2X. There were hybrid supplements out there as well. I mean, they've really pushed the name and product into a lot of different areas, but this past week, Performix completely unveiled the next evolution of the SST family in SST V3X, so the third iteration of the mainstream, the core main fat burning supplement. And the goal this time around is still very much like its predecessors, aiming to deliver a comprehensive blend of benefits to help with weight loss, energy, thermogenesis, and overall fat burning support. But the big difference with this one is that Performix has really tried to drive home the intensity, the stimulation on this, saying that it's it is the hardest hitting SST they've ever brought to market. And while there are a lot of stims in there, you've got your himbine is in there, teacrine, dynamine, but one of the most impressive, or not the biggest dosages in this thing, is the caffeine amount. Now, compared to pre-workouts, fat burners don't tend to have those numbers up in the realms of 400, 500 milligrams of caffeine. Typically, you see them in the 200 to 300 range. It's just kind of, that's just generally how it is. It's kind of just the way brands, that's just the average that we see. Performix has kind of pushed that upper amount that we typically see as 300, and it has packed 350 milligrams of caffeine into each serving of SST V3X. Now, again, it's not as high as some of the pre-workouts we've seen, but as far as fat burners go, it's one of the biggest dosages we've seen in a weight loss supplement, and should surely help Performix deliver that intended harder hitting experience that it's shooting for. Again, it still has plenty of other ingredients in there to help with weight loss benefits and thermogenesis and whatnot, but the focus again is that stimulating side and really drive home the intensity and harder hitting experience of V3X. The last story we have for this week's episode is from Mountain Dew, and I thought this was quite an interesting story as soon as I heard about it, mostly because we recently saw The Rock come out with his energy drink, obviously, with Zoa, and then Kevin Hart recently announced his investment and partnership with Cellucor and C4 Energy, and this one from Mountain Dew is it is an energy drink that's been put together with LeBron James, obviously the famous basketball player, and they've launched a flavor. It's called Mountain Dew Rise Energy, and it's hit the market, and I'm impressed by the amount of flavors. It's come out with 6 to choose from. There's Berry Blitz, Pomegranate Blue Burst, Orange Breeze, Tropical Sunrise, Peach Mango Dawn, and Strawberry Melon Spark. So it's a big amount of flavors right out of the gate. And the formula looks about what you'd expect, I guess, for your typical energy drink. It has 180 milligrams of caffeine per can, so that's right around my preferred amount, to be honest, for an anytime energy boost, not necessarily going to the gym and stuff like that. The brand has also put in city choline, and a handful of vitamins and minerals, including vitamin C at 90 milligrams. And the acetylcholine, it's worth mentioning that unlike the caffeine's listed with a dose, the acetylcholine is not. But on the ingredients list for the Mountain Dew Rise Energy, if you know the rules of ingredients, generally the way things are listed, the higher it is on the list, the heavier the amount is, even though it doesn't say the amount. Acetylcholine is listed higher than the caffeine, so while we don't know the exact amount, we can pretty much say it's more than 180 milligrams. The energy drink is also, it's not completely guilt-free, it's not 0 calorie, it's got 5 grams of carbs per can with 4 grams of that sugar, giving it 25 calories per can. And all of the flavors are made with 5% fruit juice. You can grab it now over on Amazon, which I actually thought was really cool. They didn't just tease, reveal, or whatever. They launched this thing right from when the kind of news rolled out, and you can buy it straight away on Amazon, and the price is actually pretty good. 12 cans is just $22.99, so that's a little bit less than I guess the $25 I'm more used to seeing, or even the $30, working out to $1.92 each. And for those of you who are like us and don't necessarily want to invest in a case of each flavor, they do have variety packs available, which again is another cool feature to have right out of the gate. One of the things I wished Zoa had done. But so these variety packs, they both have 12 cans per case, just like the single flavors. But there are 2 options. You can grab one which has 3 different flavors, which works out to be like 4 of each, or you can grab one with all 6 flavors, which gives you 2 of each. But they do cost a little more than the regular cases at $22.99. The 3 variety is $28.40, and then the 6 variety is $29.99. You can grab that all through Amazon. If you want to head to the site, search up Mountain Dew Rise Energy, you'll find a nice quick link there. But for this week's summary episode, that is it. Look forward to having you back in, and thank you for listening.